Remember, Cereza, hair is the most versatile tool of an Umbra Witch. It can be shaped into our armor, weapons, and even used as a medium for summoning infernal demons. As blood flows through veins, magic flows through a witch's hair. Care for it as you would your most precious tool, and defend it as you would your very heart.
A little girl wakes up late again to do her morning chores. She bemoans receiving yet another reprimand from her teacher, who she has adoration and love for, as if she is a second mother. But unbeknownst to little Cereza, underneath the cold and somber stare of a strict yet caring teacher lies the heart of a mother. A mother that cared so deeply for her son and husband that she would have moved heaven and hell to avenge them. Morgana was by no means a slouch in terms of raw power, but she was caught on the edge of a dilemma. She found that even with having some of the greatest power, she was still completely powerless to change anything about the events that befell her family, much like most of us in our lives. When we are at our lowest, sometimes we make the wrong choices. Choices that challenge our view of morality and sanity. In Bayonetta Origins, Morgana's story stands as a testament to the lengths one might go to get back what they lost, what morals one might dismiss in the name of achieving one's goals. This is Morgana Explained. Before we begin the explanation, can we trouble you with a small favor? If you like our content, please show us your support by subscribing to our channel. This gesture, though seemingly small, has great impact. The Kingdom's Court thanks you. Let's begin. Morgana was one of the most powerful Umbra witches ever to have existed. She was unmatched in her talents for not only summoning infernal demons, but her control and versatility at using them. She had mastered some of the darkest and most forbidden techniques known among the entire Umbran clan, giving her abilities far beyond those of other Umbra witches in her time, including the Umbran elders. Her magic was a beautiful cerulean, and often appeared as if they were blue flames. The color of Morgana's powers reminds me of the blue flames used by Azula in Avatar: The Last Airbender, if you guys are familiar with that series. Azula was definitely a cut above the rest in terms of raw skill and talent, and just as deadly as she was beautiful. Both of these villainous ladies sport signature blue powers that truly make them look quite unique in comparison to others of their respective kinds. This is of course not just a cool aesthetic. Blue flames are hotter than normal fire, so when Morgana is summoning her power, it is almost as if she is calling upon flames summoned from the lowest depths of Inferno itself to do her bidding, and knowing her, this is probably true. Powers and abilities. Wicked Weave. Wicked Weave is one of the first Umbran techniques we're introduced to in the Bayonetta series, and one of the most iconic moves performed by Umbra witches like Jaune and Bayonetta. Although we often see them cast it to summon a single infernal demon at a time, Morgana is a master of Wicked Weave, and was able to cast it in rapid succession, often devastating her opponents and leaving them in nothing but split seconds to defend, if possible. Puka found this out the hard way when she snuffed out his life in mid-sentence. And if Puka's deletion wasn't enough, we're given even more of a taste of Morgana's proficiency of the Wicked Weave technique, as much of the first phase of the battle we must dodge and weave through obstacle after obstacle of Morgana's rapidly cast Wicked Weave attacks, all while trying to evade her energy blasts. Energy projection. The energy blasts or projectiles that you see Morgana use in every phase of the final battle are a condensed and powerful concentration of magic that deals massive damage. She can emit them as lasers, beams, or projectiles, all while she is casting Wicked Weave. Combining them as part of her overall attack makes it very difficult to evade Morgana in battle, further showing the level of proficiency she can perform magic. Summoning. Morgana is capable of not only summoning demons in their entirety, but also controlling them in this state with just an Enochian chant. Wow, now that's real Umbran power. Dimension creation. Morgana is able to make a dimension that looks glass-like or crystalline in appearance, and can manipulate this world as she likes, having complete control of it, and while she is inside this dimension, her Umbran arts are further amplified, giving her a major advantage. All of the tendrils displayed throughout this dimension, including the ones Cheshire and Cereza are running on, are made of Morgana's hair, woven together like spider's web. We also see Morgana manipulate the dimension to appear as an open moonlit battlefield, as she does when she takes on the form of Daemon Masquerata. or as is known in Bayonetta 3, Demon Masquerade. My personal theory as to why Morgana is able to make a dimension like this is that since she had spent so much time in Avalon Forest living among the fairies, since she was the bride of the king of the fairies, she had learned to mimic some of their power, and was able to incorporate it into her own Umbran techniques and abilities. Daemon Masquerata. Morgana was one of the few witches of her time who knew of this ancient Umbran technique and could perform it. The Daemon Masquerata is both very dangerous and forbidden as it merges both the witch's body and that of the demons together. There are records of a few other Umbra witches attempting it with unfavorable results, unfortunately. This failure resulted in the demons devouring their souls. Although in the case of Morgana and her demon Lex Talionis, Morgana has complete control as she is able to subdue the demon's will and not be corrupted by it or lose her soul in the process. Morgana performs the Daemon Masquerata out of pure desperation in her willingness to force Cereza to surrender Cheshire. Illusion Magic. Alongside her ability to make an entire dimension, within this dimension she can construct giant crystalline golems of herself either in her base form or her Daemon Masquerata form. This is quite interesting because these giant golems are not just a mere illusion, but have tangible forms and are able to crush their enemies under fierce punches and energy blasts. Soul Manipulation. We do not readily get to see how Morgana performs this ability, as the only one we know of that she performed this on is her son, Lucan. I think it is safe to speculate that this could possibly be a very unique ability of Morgana herself, considering we never see another Umbra witch actually use a technique like this. Philosophy towards the dark arts and powers of Umbra. As Cereza and Morgana battled, not only were their Umbran powers and abilities put to the test against one another, but also their differing ideologies towards Infernals and how they should be utilized. Unlike Cereza, who believes that Infernals should be treated as friends or equals, Morgana strictly believes that Infernals are only tools to be used by the Umbran and nothing more. We first get a display of this ideology when Cereza is led by the White Wolf down to the heart of Avalon Forest, where she finds the imprisoned body of the boy who had been calling out to her in her dreams, Lucan. The White Wolf reveals that he is Lucan and that his soul was placed into the body of the White Wolf until the time that he can absorb the soul of a demon born under the full moon of the bisextile night. Cereza, of course, is taken aback by Lucan's statement, horrified by the idea of having to sacrifice Cheshire. Throughout their arduous journeys, they had become really close friends and formed an inseparable bond. So to Lucan's surprise, Cereza defends Cheshire.
You're wrong! Cheshire is no tool! He's a living creature, with his own thoughts and dreams! We made it this far by working together, so I'm not about to offer him up like some sacrificial goat!
Lucan then says,
Your friend? You mean that demon? Cereza, what are you saying? Look at it. Demons are infernal creatures that feast on human souls. You witches harness their power as a tool, a weapon, nothing more. Oh, I don't believe this. I'm sorry, Cereza, but you leave me no choice.
After Lucan is defeated, we would later find out that Lucan is Morgana's son. So it is safe to assume that before the Fairy King had been killed by the usurper King Puka, Morgana had already instilled her viewpoints about the purpose of Infernals in relation to Umbra witches to her son. Throughout the entire battle, Morgana chides Cereza about being weak and befriending a demon when they are nothing but tools to be used. She does admit Cereza had the potential to be a great Umbra witch if only she had hardened her heart.
A pity. You had the potential to become a fine witch, Cereza. If only you'd hardened your heart. But you were always so damn soft.
The court's conclusion. Morgana was truly a force to be reckoned with. Her power put her on a level unseen before in her time. Her cunning, poise, and raw power made her everything we could ask for in a villain. But she was not just some power-hungry villain who was only motivated by self-ambitions. She was a scorned mother who would go to any lengths to free her son and return him to his original state, albeit she went about it completely in the wrong way, training and then sending countless other girls to meet their fates in Avalon Forest in the hopes that they might break the spell on Lucan. I think Morgana was much more relatable not as an all-powerful ruthless witch, but as a loving mother who had her whole family ripped from her by a covetous usurper. She made a lot of mistakes in her quest to save her son and get vengeance on the very creature that had taken everything she cared about from her. She became jaded and bitter and blinded by hate. Her hatred for Cereza became clear as she viewed her no longer as a student, but as someone standing between her and the one thing she needed to save her beloved son. In the end, Morgana trained Cereza and became one of her greatest obstacles to overcome. Cereza in turn pushed Morgana to the full extent of her own power, proving her bond with Cheshire made them a stronger team in comparison to Morgana and Lex. In that split second before Cheshire delivered the final blow, I think Morgana saw the error of her ways as her face seemed to show acceptance rather than malice. In some small way, I think Morgana was happy to see Cereza had become a strong witch in her own right. Morgana had instilled in Cereza what it truly meant to walk the path of the Umbra Witch. So what did you guys think about Morgana? Did you relate to Morgana and her choices? Do you guys think Morgana got what she deserved? Or do you think there were some redeemable qualities about Morgana that I missed? I'd love to hear your opinions in the comments. Do you think Morgana could have been redeemed or not? And as always, thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel. If you're new here, be sure to click the subscribe button for more Bayonetta and video game lore like this. Also, if you haven't already, please go and check out the full battle between Morgana and Cereza on this channel. I'll leave a link to it down in the descriptions. So to all my Umbran sisters and brothers, you guys have a great day. This has been Chris of Crispy Kingdom. The council is dismissed.